Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. Thank you for joining us on LinkedIn to have a overview of the material that we're presenting at the Walker Wayland Accountants Conference in Hobart this weekend. Crowdsourced funding equity raising, a significant financial improvement for small, medium enterprises and also obviously for accountants. What is crowdsourced funding equity raising? Well, it's definitely not crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is where you make a contribution to someone who's ill or needs an operation or has been injured, or perhaps is developing a new product and they need some money to finish it and they're going to allocate to the donors some distribution of the products. Crowdsourced funding equity raising is where the investor is subscribing for ordinary share capital in the company, and that's what they're going to receive. So there's a lot of difference. A company to be eligible for crowdsourced funding equity raising status needs to have a group turnover of less than $25 million, a value of its gross assets of less than $25 million, and not be listed on a stock exchange anywhere in the world. So that's the basic criteria. This product is targeted at retail investors, and a retail investor is someone with a net worth of less than $2.5 million or has not earned over $250,000 for the last 2 years. That's verified by their taxation return. And if a person is a sophisticated investor, they obtain a certificate from their accountant. The maximum investment in a crowdsourced funding equity raising company from a retail investor is $10,000 per company in a 12-month period. There is no upper limit for a sophisticated investor. The company can raise up to $5 million in a 12-month period. And it can repeat that capital raising process in the following years, up to $5 million if the investors agreed. The amendments to the Corporations Act to facilitate crowdsourced funding equity raising introduced the concept of intermediaries. The crowdsourced funding intermediaries wear two hats. One is as the gatekeeper to make sure that all of the legal requirements that are policed by Australian Security Investment Commission have been abided by. And the second hat that they wear is as a promoter, because each of the intermediaries has gone out to the marketplace and has attracted people who have registered on their databases as being potentially interested in investing in a company. So the intermediary checks that the documentation complies, and then they promote the capital raising effort by the company. The maximum period that the company can be listed on the intermediary's website is 90 days. And all investments must be transacted by the intermediary's website. So even if you've got a favorite aunt who wants to put $100 into the company, that aunt still has to go onto the intermediary's website to invest that $100. There is no exceptions. A crowdsourced funding offer document has to be prepared, and most companies will need assistance from their accountants or business advisors to be able to prepare that type of document for submission to the intermediary for review. The crowdsourced funding offer document contains the information that the law requires has to be disclosed. Full details of who the directors and senior managers are and history of the company. Post-capital raising, as long as the minimum subscription is achieved, the intermediary communicates with the company and indicates that the capital raising's been concluded. The intermediary then deducts their fee, which has been negotiated earlier between the company directors and the intermediary, and transfers the net amount direct into the company's nominated bank account and sends the company a list of their new shareholders. Now that could number 500, 600, 1,000 shareholders. So many companies have elected to appoint a share registry business to look after their share register and to produce that 500 to 700 in shareholders certificates to send to them. So the key players in this whole process are the company, its directors, its senior managers, the accountants, who in the main will be very closely involved in the preparation of the required documentation, and the intermediaries who will assist the company to be able to raise the capital utilizing crowdsourced funding equity raising. In many instances, the intermediary will suggest that the company initially tries to raise some capital under Section 708 of the Corporations Act. This is the act that's the old faithful. It's been there for 35 years. A company can raise up to $2 million in a 12-month period, but from no more than 20 investors. The company cannot promote or advertise that it's trying to raise money under Section 708. So what happens is that the company approaches friends, relatives, acquaintances, suppliers, customers, and tries to get a certain sum of money, up to $2 million, from those investors. The intermediaries use this investment contribution as a testimonial when they go out to promote the company to a wider range of people who do not know the directors, who do not know the senior managers, and might know very little about the company itself. But what the intermediaries can indicate to that wider group of people, that close associates, customers, and suppliers of the company have already contributed a certain sum of money. So it helps the process. ESS BizTools produces a scorecard every 3 months on the performance of the intermediaries, and that is available in the material that's been distributed to the attendees at the Walker Wayland conference. ESS BizTools also conducted an intermediary survey, and that is also available. If you're interested in reading either the scorecard or the intermediary survey results, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, and we will send the documents to you. So that's the overview of the type of information that we are able to produce for submission to key accounting groups such as Walker Wayland that we are going to be presenting at their conference. If you've got any questions or need further information, why not visit our website, www.essbiztools.com.au. There is a full product package, so go to the crowdsource funding product package, whereby you can view a whole range of free material on how crowdsource funding equity raising operates. Have a great day. Goodbye.